In this video, we're looking at how to evaluate expressions or functions. For example, if I have to evaluate for x -3, the value of x will be substituted. So evaluate means substitute the value of x in the given expression, or in this instance, function. So the function in terms of x is given to be -x² minus 2x plus 7. What this means is -1 hidden coefficient. The value of x is squared. The value of x is squared. When it comes to variables, x, y, z's, a, b, c's, any letter of the alphabet is a variable and it has a value. If you see a negative in front, that's a -1 multiplied by it. So variables, in other words, are always just letters. Signs in front belong to numbers. If there is a hidden number 1, make it visible. Make it visible. X is squared, where then multiplied by -1. Here, x is multiplied by -2 and then plus 7. So the value of x is squared multiplied by -1. Let's see how that works. So for the function, substituting the value of -3, we have -1, and then instead of x, I have to substitute -3. And what I'm going to do, and I'm going to say -3, and right away use that definition of a square. Square means multiply the number by itself. So multiply that 3 by itself. So instead of writing -3 squared, I actually write the meaning of it. -3 times -3. Then I have -2 multiplied by the value of -3, and then I bring down the plus 7. So to reinstate that fact, when I substitute the value of x in the function, I fill in -3. Instead of square, I write the multiplication of the number by itself times that -1 hidden coefficient minus 2 times -3, the value of x, and then bring down the 7. Now we just follow the order of operations to solve. And we have negative times negative times negative. Multiplying 3 negatives is -9. So 3 times 3, 9 times -1. Then I have plus 6. Why plus 6? Because this multiplication right here, -2 or -2, multiplied by -3. So negative and minus means the same thing. If I look at the number, I multiply the signs right away. And instead of having minus -6, I replace it immediately to one sign, plus 6. Negative times negative is positive, plus 6. And bring down the plus 7. Two numbers, negative and positive, -9 plus 6, have different signs, so subtract, give the sign of the bigger number. And then again, two numbers, combined, negative and positive, different signs, subtract, and keep the sign of the bigger number. That would be 4. So the function, when we replaced instead of x -3, simplified to the value of 4. Let's see another example and clarify some more things. I have to evaluate for two values. One, let's make it negative, -1. And 2, the function given will be -5 multiplied by t squared. So that means t times -5. -3 multiplied by t. So that means t multiplied by -3. So let's evaluate it first for t equal -1. So I replace in my function, when I substitute -1, what happens is that -5 is multiplied by -1 and -1 again, because that is my t squared, a number times itself, then -3 multiplied by -1. So that t value being replaced, here is t times t, written as a multiplication. Squared means multiply by itself, and here it is multiplied by -3. Multiplying three negatives, negative times negative is positive, and times another negative is -5. And then another multiplication. Negative times negative is positive, 3. Okay? Negative and positive, different sign, subtract, and keep the sign of the bigger number. The function for the value of -1 is -2. Let's say the same function for the value of 2. So the function for the t value of 2 is -5. Then t squared means 2 times 2 minus 3 times 2. Multiplying negative times positive will be negative. And then -3 times 2 is negative. Negative and negative, when we combine, add the numbers, keep the sign, -26. So the function for the t value of 2 simplifies to -26. Let's see another example. Evaluating for two different values. So y, -2, and 4. The function is given to us as negative y squared. So remember, a variable is never negative in front. A variable has a value. The y can be positive or negative, but not in the expression. This means that the y is squared and multiplied by -1. So when you see a negative variable, there is a hidden coefficient there, -1 multiplied by the variable. Same thing here. You can put plus y and there is no number to multiply. Well, that's the hidden coefficient y, 1. And then -7. So the variable, when we have variables, we always see either 2x, 3x, 4x. We never see a 1x. Okay? Or we see a y, 2y, 4y, 3y. We never see a 1. That 1, because when we multiply by 1, the value remains the same. So hidden coefficient 1, multiplicative identity. F of -2, evaluating for -2 first, will look like this. So that hidden coefficient 1, then y squared. So the value of y is -2. Squaring that means multiplying by itself. Plus, the value of y is -2, and then -7. Plus -2 here, again, looks like something is missing. So that is what that hidden coefficient 1 is. -2 is the value that we just replaced instead of y. Order of operations. Multiplying three negatives. Negative times negative is positive, times another negative is negative. So multiplying three negatives is a -4. Then we have plus times minus, multiplying positive times negative. I need one sign. I don't want plus negative, I want one sign. So this is when we say we multiply the signs and numbers. Positive times negative is -2, and then -7. Every number should have just one sign in front to simplify the problem. -4 minus 2, add the numbers, keep the sign, -6. And then -6 with -7 combined, again same sign, add the numbers, keep the sign, -13. So the function evaluated for the value of -2 is simplifies to -13. Same function for a different value. So we go back to our function, fill in that hidden coefficient 1. The y is squared, so we say multiply the value of y, which is 4, by itself, 4 times 4, plus 1y, which is 1 times 4, and then minus 7. So everything that is invisible, make sure you make it visible. So all those hidden coefficients, once you fill them in, you break that problem down into its components. Negative and then times positive times positive. That will be -16 plus positive times positive 4 minus 7. So we have combining integers next. Negative and positive subtract. Keep the sign of the bigger number. -12 minus 7. Negative and negative add. Keep the sign of the bigger number. -19. So the function evaluated for 4 simplifies to -19. I will continue with the next example, but my suggestion to you is, what if you pause the video, try this next example by yourself, then play the video to see if you got the correct answers. So check yourself, give yourself a challenge to see if you can evaluate this last function that I have for you for the two values for x, -1 and 3. So pause, give it a try. And here goes. The function for -1, when we evaluate, I have 3. Then I have x squared, means the value -1 multiplied by itself. Then I have -4. And then I have +2 multiplied by the value of x, -1. So always pay attention where the variables are, and that's where you replace it with the given value. Order of operations. 3 times 1 times 1 is still 3, and it will be positive because negative times negative is positive and times another positive. So 3 minus, bring down the 4. Then I have this multiplication, positive times negative. That would be -2. 3 minus 4, 3 is positive, 4 is negative. Subtract, keep the sign of the bigger number. That would be -1 minus 2. Negative and negative, add the numbers, keep the sign, that would be -3. The function of the value for x, -1, simplifies to -3. Second value is 3, so if I substitute 3 instead of x in my function 3, then x squared means 3 times 3, substituting the value of x, bring down -4, and then +2 multiplied by that value of x3. So here's my x squared, and here's my x multiplied by 2. Order of operations. 3 times 3 times 3. 9 times 3, 27. -4. 2 times 3, positive, plus 6. 27 minus 4, 23, plus 6, 29. The function simplified for the value of x3 is 29.